Most people try to erase imposter syndrome. That is a mistake. The goal is not to silence it. The goal is to use it as a tracking device that points straight to the skills you need to build. If you stop treating the feeling as a crisis and start treating it as data, you stop giving it power. Today, we are looking at a simple idea: leaning into imposter syndrome instead of surrendering to it. The feeling appears in the exact moments when your identity has not caught up with your capabilities. If you know how to read it correctly, the discomfort becomes a tactical advantage instead of a threat. Imposter syndrome is rarely about incompetence. It usually shows up when your environment upgrades faster than your self-concept. A new role, a new audience, a new expectation. The brain flags it as danger because consistency is more comfortable than growth. The mistake is assuming the emotion tells the truth. It does not. It tells you where you lack repetition. That is the only reliable meaning. If a situation feels too big for you, the problem is not your intelligence, but your inexperience in that setting. This is why people with real expertise still feel it. They grow faster than they update their internal labels. Trying to crush the feeling keeps you unfocused. Leaning into it does the opposite. When the thought appears, treat it like a report. Ask one question: what skill is missing here that would remove 80% of this discomfort? You will get a concrete answer almost every time. That is the advantage. Imposter syndrome gives you a premium view of your weak spots with zero ambiguity. Most people run from that information. You can use it as a checklist. The moment you shift from avoidance to examination, the emotional charge drops. Fear comes from uncertainty. Precision replaces it. There is a predictable cycle. Step 1, exposure. Step 2, repetition. Step 3, identity update. The fear occurs between steps 1 and 2. People who quit early never reach step 3, so they misinterpret the loop and assume they are inadequate. Expert performers pass through the same loop, but they stick with repetition long enough for the brain to adjust. Confidence follows familiarity, not talent. Your objective is to stay in the loop long enough for the emotional system to acknowledge what you can already do. Here are the 4 most reliable ways to lean in instead of collapsing under the feeling. 1. Label the moment instead of judging it. Say, this is exposure discomfort. That removes the false meaning your brain tries to attach to it. 2. Reduce the problem size. Imposter syndrome spikes when the task feels undefined. Break it into mechanical steps, not inspirational statements, actions. The feeling loses momentum when the next move is obvious. 3. Borrow competence. Treat the scenario as if you are hired to play the role of someone who knows the job. People do better when the pressure shifts from identity to execution. 4. Track the discomfort pattern. Write the exact situations where the feeling shows up. Patterns appear quickly. Those patterns tell you your current growth edge. That becomes your training plan. When you consistently act in situations that trigger your imposter syndrome, the people around you update their view of you long before you update your view of yourself. They judge your performance. You judge your fear. They are evaluating entirely different things. You are often the last person to acknowledge your own capability. Do the work anyway. The external world corrects your internal narrative. If you want to weaken imposter syndrome, you cannot solve it emotionally. You solve it behaviorally. Lean into it. Mine it for information. Treat it as a signal, not a sentence. Once you stop resisting the feeling stops dictating what you allow yourself to do. If you want more breakdowns like this, subscribe and turn on notifications. You will get weekly videos that cut through the noise and explain behavioral psychology in a way you can actually use.